Everybody, this is Dream, and this is going to be the NFL slate for FanDuel. We have a nice opening week for the main slate. We have lots of good teams playing, lots of potential for scoring here, lots of good quarterbacks, lots of good players at every position. Obviously, week one's a little bit harder because we don't have any data to really know outside of the depth charts how players are going to play. But we have a good situation. We got good situations across the board. So we're going to have a good ability to make some quality lineups here. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the defenses just to kind of show you those four teams that I have here. One is the 49ers, second one is the Saints, the Titans, and then the Colts. Those are my top four defenses. Obviously, they're going against good teams, or bad teams, and I probably think the Titans and the Colts are in the best situation because they have the best all-around defenses and have the tendency to score the most points, uh, generally speaking. But I do think that the 49ers have a lot of upside in their matchup against Chicago, and also the Saints have a lot of upside in their matchup against Atlanta. The fantasy points per game here from last season, I do believe, and obviously all four of those teams have done pretty well. So overall, I think that those four teams are who you want to choose from. So if you choose the 49ers, I'm just doing it for this example. So we have to fill in all these other positions, and we have almost not quite $7,000 per player at this. So hopefully we can find some value, which I think we have found that we can mix and match in here to help maximize the potential here. So we have good value just about across the board. I have four top tier quarterbacks to choose from, and then a value quarterback if you want to go that route. I think we actually have some solid options to do that. So let's go and get into quarterbacks. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes is the number one guy for Kansas City. Now, he's going to not quite have all the, he's changing out some wide receivers this year, so we'll see how that changes how he plays, but I still think he's the top guy for the week. Lamar Jackson's in a really good spot. Plus, he gets points on the runs. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm getting a little dyslexic there. But he's got a lot of upside in this matchup against one of the worst teams when it comes to defense. So I think he's in a really good spot. And then Justin Herbert versus Las Vegas, who I really have to wonder if Las Vegas can be able to stop anybody. Early in the season, especially. He did really good against them last year, and I think he's going to continue to do that. And then Jalen Hurts is my fourth favorite. He's not in the perfect matchup, but he's in a position where I think he's got a good chance to have a really big game. Plus, he gets points on the run, which really helps us. And then my value pick is Jameis Winston for New Orleans. This is going to be a high octane offense for him, and he also gets points on the run, which is really helpful, and he's a lot less expensive than those other guys, and he's going against a weak defense, so all the upside for him in this position. It's a little bit different than what he's probably used to, but I think he's in a really great spot for this particular matchup. At running back, we have a lot of good options, and I'm going to order these top to bottom price-wise. So that doesn't necessarily mean the order I think they're going to score in. It's just their prices to kind of give you the top guys and then the value guys. So my top guys are Jonathan Taylor for Indianapolis. He's going to run the ball a lot. They're going to score a lot of points against Texas. They have high scoring potential in this game, and so I really like him as a good option. Though he is a little bit capped because if he doesn't play much in the second half, if they blow out Houston or something, but he's still in a good position. Derrick Henry for Tennessee is probably one of my favorite plays against the Giants. He's gonna have a really big season again probably, and I look for him to play well this week. Christian McCaffrey is a guy I really like, except for the fact the Browns have a pretty good defense, so he's a little bit. And he's been a little bit banged up, so you do want to make sure to check on his stats for week one. But he's in a good position in that particular game. Then Austin Eckler, now he's not as highly looked at as Taylor, Henry, or McCaffrey when it comes to the total amount of carries, but he still has tendency to get pretty good amount of yards and touchdowns, stuff like that. So he can definitely score some points in that way. but he's not as ideal as some of the others. Another guy I really like is Alvin Kamara this week. He's going to really have an opportunity. Plus, he gets, you know, he gets like yards in the on the pass, and so I really like him as a guy that can get some targets and score some points that way. Potentially get us touchdowns in multiple different directions. Just to get into some of the cheaper guys here, Aaron Jones for Green Bay. He's going to need to be a safety valve for Aaron Rodgers in these games, especially with all the new receivers and stuff around Aaron Rodgers. He's going to need some guys to throw the ball to, and so I really like him as a good option at running back as well because he's going to get the carries. Saquon Barkley is also in a pretty good situation. Other than the fact he's going against Tennessee, he's going to have to be used a lot by the Giants because of, they just need guys that can actually do stuff with the ball. Antonio Gibson is a guy that I think is in a good spot for Washington against Jacksonville. He's going to have some upside in this matchup against a bad team. And then another really good option, the super cheap option, is Clyde Edwards-Helaire for Kansas City against Arizona. He has some pretty good upside in this matchup, and so I think he's somebody that's in play. So let's go and get the wide receivers. We have more wide receivers because there's lots of value available, but my overall top guy is Devontae Adams for Las Vegas. Derek Carr will get him the ball pretty good, and Derek Carr is a pretty good quarterback whenever he has really good players, so I see this option as really high. Obviously, it's not Aaron Rodgers, but Devontae Adams is still a really good quarterback. Then I have Deebo Samuel for San Francisco. He's in a really good spot against Chicago to get some opportunities for himself. Another guy I really like is Jamar Chase for Cincinnati. Obviously, it's a bit of a rivalry game here, but he has been really good in a lot of big games, so I look for him to do well in this particular matchup, and hopefully he can come through. Obviously, Cincinnati has a couple good options in the game. Justin Jefferson is a guy I really like from Minnesota. With Kirk Cousins here, I think he's in a good spot to have probably some high upside. And then Tyreek Hill in his new home. Obviously, the question here is if his quarterback can get him the ball. But if he can, then he's going to be somebody that's going to pay off overall throughout the season. Keenan Allen for the LA Chargers is a guy that looks pretty good against Las Vegas, who's just not going to be that good this week. And then Pittman for Indianapolis. He looks like he's in a good spot to help with Matt Ryan coming in. I feel like he has increased his upside quite a bit. A guy from Philadelphia I like is A.J. Brown. So there it is. Against Detroit, who's one of the worst teams in the game, and he should be one of the top wide receivers available for this particular game. And so I really like him, and he's, we're starting to get pretty inexpensive here. T. Higgins for Cincinnati again, guy that I really like, has a lot of upside with, as long as Burrow's back, that's going to be very useful. Marquise Brown for Arizona, guy I really like here against Kansas City. Now, he wasn't that great last season, but he's got a lot of upside, and he's going to come in here and have a good opportunity to have a good season. Jalen Waddle for Miami, one of the guys I know that Miami's quarterback can get the ball to. He should have some really good opportunities here, even though now he's the second guy behind Tyreek Hill. He's definitely going to be a guy that's going to get targeted quite a bit. Mike Williams for the Chargers is a guy that I think looks pretty good this week against the Raiders. He's got some high upside in these matchups. Ross St. Brown is another guy I really like for Detroit. Not too much that I like on Detroit, but he's pretty much the only guy that can do anything for them. And then Juju Smith-Schuster is going to be real interesting to see what he does with his new quarterback. I really like him in this matchup, and I think that I think that Patrick Mahomes will like him as well. And then Adam Thielen for Minnesota, another guy I really like with Kirk Cousins throwing on the ball. He just looks like he's going to be in a good position to score some points. And then Rashad, how do I spell this guy? Bateman. There we go. Rashad Bateman for Baltimore. He's one of the guys that is going to have some nice advantage with Jackson throwing him the ball. And then Devontae Smith for Philadelphia. I really like him in this position against Detroit. I mean, somebody's got to eat against Detroit, and he's somebody that can do it. And then Hunter Renfrow is a guy I like for Las Vegas as well. I feel like Derek Carr is going to have a lot of good options here. If he plays, he's definitely an advantage. And then Christian Kirk for Jacksonville looks like he's in a good position against Washington. He should have some good upside in this particular game. And then Robert Woods for the Tennessee Titans. I really like his upside for this season. It looks like he could potentially have a breakout year. And then one guy that's a Hail Mary option, but from what I've read, he's going to be involved in the offense, is going to be Wan'Dale Robinson. He's nearly minimum priced, and he's going to get involved in all sorts of different ways. He's just a really fantastic rookie. And so, obviously, this is not the most ideal matchup for him, but I think he's in a good spot to potentially have a good game. So let's go get in the tight ends. And we have several good ones available here. Obviously, the best one is going to be Travis Kelce for Kansas City. He's just like the best safety valve in the league for Patrick Mahomes. Then we have Mark Andrews for Baltimore. I really like his potential in this season, and this matchup for him is really juicy. He's one of my favorite guys for this week, specifically because of the matchup. Darren Waller is a guy I really like this week for the Raiders against Chargers. He had some pretty good upside. I think Las Vegas is going to throw the ball a lot, and he's going to be somebody that's going to take advantage of that. Kyle Pitts is in a position to have a really good game for Atlanta against New Orleans. He's in a pretty good situation. Now he's got a new quarterback in Marcus Mariota, but I think he's in a good spot here to take advantage of a good, a team that's going to go against him that throws the ball a lot. Sorry, I get a little dyslexic there. Another guy I like is Dallas Goedert for Philadelphia. Somebody on this team has got to score, and he's going to be one guy that's really going to try. Jalen Hurts does run the ball a lot, but he also likes to throw to tight ends, so I really like him as an option. And then TJ Hawkinson is another guy I really like for Detroit. Obviously, there's not much on Detroit to like, but he's one of the two, and I think he's in a good spot. And then Dalton, excuse me. Excuse me. Where is he? Did I accidentally include a guy I didn't mean to? Yeah, I did. Never mind. That's all. There's no more guys, Todd, and I don't think that are very useful. But I think we have a really solid slate. I think there's a lot of good options, a lot of good defenses, a lot of good quarterbacks, and we got value all over the place. So I think you can build real quality lineups. It should be a pretty good scoring week because there's a lot of bad teams against good teams, and that usually helps offense and defense players. So with that said, thanks for liking, commenting, and subscribing. If you like this video, please consider doing so, and thanks, and have a nice day, guys.